Enjoy, everybody. Buongiorno. Are we locked and loaded here? Yeah, sure we are. All right. Yeah, we have very peculiar New England February here. So yeah, I'm out on the streets. It's a little too much salt for my liking, and I won't stay out too long. But hey, we jump on the bandwagon. Jump on the bandsaw here, and talk just briefly about Buell motorcycles. So welcome back to the chat, Buell motorcycles. Let me tell you, you're freaking a lot of people out. If you haven't heard, folks, yeah, Buell yet again threatening the market with its product. So as you may recall, Buell was a living, thriving machine back in the day, wonderfully built, great performance, and then well, one thing led to another, and they ceased to exist for a while, and much to the dismay of forward-thinking people, and much to the not notice. That's bad English there. Me speak English. Yeah, so most pot-bellied, white-bearded Harley people didn't even notice that they had gone, and but too bad. Eric Buell was designing really good forward-thinking performance machines, and now they're gone. Well, then they came back a little bit. There was some threats made. We're coming back. No Eric Buell, by the way. Was not allowed to be Buell anymore. He lost it. I think, what, bankruptcy? Was that the deal? So now he's got another motorcycle company, Fuel or something like that. But you could just Google that. But anyhow, so they threatened to come back, Buell did, and then nothing happened. So it was a big thundercloud came in, no rain. Well, here they are again, and they're pushing some bikes now, a couple in particular, and but there's a lot of shady stuff about how much are these bikes gonna cost. Where can I pick one up? Who's gonna work on this thing when something needs maintenance? None of these questions can be answered. So that's a little disconcerting. So I know some people publicly put deposits down, and they're buying in, but man, I am not so sure about that. And so Buell, so I had a friend who had a Buell Blast back in the day, and I never got to ride it. It had a flat tire from the time that I became aware of the bike, and which is, I would have loved to give it a go, and subsequently he sold it. And but yeah, I'm not really sure how I feel about Buell being. Well, I know how I feel. I'm not interested. There's a lot of people who are looking at the picture. It looks like a lowrider S doing a wheelie, and a lot of people are like, "Whoa, take my money!" And it's like, well, I know, but if you go on YouTube or something, you see baggers doing wheelies and stuff like that anyway. But I don't think that's really the point of showing the wheelie. But anyway, so I don't think we're concerned about. Wow, there's a big wind turbine up there that I never noticed before. All right. Yeah, I am under caffeinated as usual. But anyhow, yeah. So I don't think it's like performance or anything like that issues that are concerning people at all about Buell right now. I think it's just like, where am I gonna get it? Why is it gonna cost? What's it gonna cost? Who's gonna work on it? None of these questions can be answered or will be answered by the Moco at this time. And so, well, it's kind of like Harley threatening the Street Fighter. Well, you know what? Prove it. Show it to me. Let's have some test rides, and then we'll get excited, because we're, once bitten, twice shy. Well, we're like 10 times bitten, and we ain't getting bit anymore. You gotta roll that thing out and let people ride it, because I know what happened to Victory motorcycles. So I had friends who really bought in. They were tired of Harley Davidson culture, so they started their own Harley Davidson culture and called it Victory. So they basically wore different clothes and rode different bikes. But Victory had a big push. Yeah, they were a Polaris company, right? What is this thing? And that was a Subaru Outback. Maybe an Impreza. Anyhow, yeah, so Victory, they made a big push for their bike, the Octane. They had a build off and a lot of really great looking builds came out of it. And then overnight, they vanished and said, no, Victory is now defunct. And but we will continue to supply parts for 10 years, and we'll continue to charge, at least at our local dealership, full price for a bike whose company no longer exists. And that's when Polaris went full on with Indian. And I was worried that the same was going to happen to Indian. Like, everybody who's like jumping ship from Harley is so desperate to find another option, a different option, you know, for the same price point, unfortunately. But you know, they're so interested in that I was just worried that Indian was going to, Polaris was going to do the same thing with Indian. And well, fortunately not so. So here we go. Indian is alive and well, sounding and looking great. So there. But there's been other rumblings of maybe Norton has come back under new leadership, but it's like you gotta like know the people and order it from them. Like there's not going to be Norton dealers, something like that. And Bruff Superior, whom I've only heard of referenced by Jay Leno on Jay Leno's Garage. Bruff Superior apparently still makes motorcycles and modern ones at that. So man, if it was nicer, I would get down that way. But anyway, so Bruff Superior, I don't know anything about them, but apparently they're still a thriving motorcycle company or blah blah blah. But do any of you guys know anything about Bruff Superior? They look like a bike like any other bike, you know, like a Triumph or whatever. So I don't know. I don't know their price point or anything about them. But good enough for Jay Leno, maybe good enough to take a look at. Anyhow, in the meantime, you know, you could always go small, go like Janus motorcycles. And I'm interested to see anybody out there ever rode a Janus motorcycle. They're out of what, Goshen? Is it Indiana? Indiana or Illinois? I don't know. And but those bikes have that really old school aesthetic, and the small CC, they look I don't know, incredible. They look like old school bikes, and apparently they're simple, and from what I've read online, pretty reliable. So maybe that's a good option. Anyhow, no disposable income here, so it's me and the Bug Smasher. I know once in a while catches me, you know, giving the eye to another motorcycle, and but no, please don't feel threatened. I just looking. A little window shopping never hurt. Well. Anyway, what am I even talking about? All right, guys, Matt the Greeter. I gotta get out of this salt, get home, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Yeah, leave a comment below. What are your thoughts on Buell, Norton, Bruff Superior, and have you ever had any experience with Janus motorcycles? In the meantime, I'll check in with you later. Bye.